Hi, it's Kathy again, and I was shuffling this deck, and I just said, oh, nothing's popping out, and bam, fresh air popped out. And it says, your body needs refreshment from oxygenated air generated by grass, trees, plants, and flowers. Spend time outside today, as near to Mother Nature's cradle as possible. Open your curtains and windows to refresh your home as well. Well, at this taping, it's winter, it's the middle of winter, so I'm not going to be opening my windows, but I definitely need to get out for some fresh air tomorrow, which I will. And now we're up to Chapter 6, Predestination. Theological controversy over predestination has caused great confusion in the religious lives of many people. Let us begin by examining the source of this controversy. In the Bible, we find many passages which are often interpreted to mean that everything in an individual's life, prosperity and decline, happiness and misery, salvation and damnation, as well as the rise and fall of nations, comes to pass exactly as predestined by God. Yet we can also find sufficient evidence in the Bible to refute the doctrine of absolute predestination. For example, God warned the first human ancestors not to eat of the fruit in order to prevent their fall. We can deduce from this that the human fall was not the outcome of God's predestination, rather the result of man's disobedience to God's commandment. Again we read, the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. If the human fall were predestined by God, there would be no reason for him to grieve over fallen human beings who were acting in accordance with his predestination. Since there are ample grounds in the Bible to justify either of these two contrasting doctrines, controversy over the issue of predestination has been inevitable. How can the principle solve this problem? Before discussing the predestination of God's will, let us first examine what is being willed. Let us remember, God could not accomplish his purpose of creation due to the human fall. Accordingly, God's will in carrying out his providence for fallen humanity is still to accomplish the purpose of creation. In this sense, God's will is that restoration be accomplished. To what extent does God predestine his will? The ultimate accomplishment of the purpose of creation? God is the absolute being, unique, eternal, and unchanging. Therefore, the purpose of his creation must also be absolute, unique, eternal, and unchanging. Likewise, his will for the providence of restoration, the goal of which is the accomplishment of the purpose of creation, must also be absolute, unique, and unchanging. It follows that God's predestination of his will, that the purpose of creation one day be fulfilled, must also be absolute. As it is written, I have spoken, and I will bring it to pass. I have purposed, and I will do it. Since God predestines his will absolutely, if the person who has been chosen to accomplish his will fails, God must continue to carry on his providence until its fulfillment, even though it may require him to choose another person to shoulder the mission. So, Jesus was chosen to be the father of all mankind. He was chosen that he should marry and have children and create God's lineage. But since he was crucified, God sent a returning Christ, Reverend Sun Myung Moon. So his will come to pass, but it may not come through one particular person. Of course, as you remember in the resurrection that I just was teaching you, Jesus was working inside Reverend Sun Myung Moon. Jesus in spirit was with Reverend Sun Myung Moon while he was fulfilling his will. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll close this for now, and I'll make a part 2. Thank you, and until next time.